There comes a moment when you look in the mirror and feel a quiet power rising within you. A power not given by anyone outside, but born from your own spirit. It is the same power that makes mountains stand and rivers carve their way through stone. This moment is yours. It is the invitation to step into the life you were meant to live. Many people believe that strength is loud, filled with noise and display. But real strength lives in silence. It grows in discipline. It breathes in patience. When you begin to train your mind the way a warrior trains the body, you learn that the first battle is always within. This is the path to becoming undefeatable. Not because the world stops testing you, but because you no longer bow to fear, doubt, or limitation. To become an undefeatable woman, you must first understand the weight of your own breath. Every morning you rise with it. Every evening you end with it. In between those moments is your chance to train your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Be patient yet unshakable. Let your emotions flow yet never lose your center. This is how you build the unbreakable ground beneath your feet. The world will try to push you, tempt you, distract you. It will challenge your worth. It will tell you to be smaller. But you are not here to shrink. You are here to expand beyond what is comfortable. The still mind and steady heart cannot be conquered. When you feel the pressure of the world pressing on you, remember that diamonds form under pressure. Let this pressure polish you, not crush you. To master your inner world before facing the outer world is to recognize that every experience you encounter begins within you. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs shape the way you see life, and they shape the way life responds to you. When your inner world is scattered, noisy, or unsettled, even the smallest challenge outside feels enormous. But when your inner world is calm, clear, and disciplined, the outside world loses its power to overwhelm you. This is the first and most important step on the journey of becoming an undefeatable woman. It is not about controlling everything around you. It is about learning to direct your own energy, your focus, and your mindset so that you move through life with balance and purpose. Start by paying attention to your thoughts. Most people do not notice the constant stream of words running through their minds. They react to life without understanding that their own mind is shaping their reality. When you wake in the morning, sit with yourself in silence. Breathe deeply and allow your thoughts to settle. Notice what you feel and what you think without judging it. This simple practice begins the training of your inner world. With time, your thoughts become your allies instead of your enemies. Instead of believing every doubt or fear, you start to choose the thoughts that empower you. This shift from reaction to intention is the ground where your strength grows. Emotions are another gateway to mastering your inner world. Many people see emotions as storms that come and go, out of their control. But when you begin to breathe through your emotions and give them space, you start to notice patterns. You begin to see which situations trigger anger, sadness, fear, or joy. Understanding these patterns gives you choice. Instead of being thrown around by your emotions, you learn to stand inside them, steady and present. This is not about suppressing what you feel. It is about learning to carry your emotions with dignity and use their energy for growth rather than destruction. Self-discipline is a bridge between your inner and outer world. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, you are building trust with your own spirit. Whether it is waking up earlier, practicing gratitude, or dedicating time to your craft, discipline shapes the strength of your inner world. When discipline becomes natural, your confidence rises. You no longer need approval or permission from others because you know you can rely on yourself. This quiet self-trust is one of the most powerful qualities of an undefeatable woman. Silence and solitude are also essential. In the noise of modern life, it is easy to lose connection with your own voice. Take moments to step back, breathe, and listen to yourself. In silence, you can hear the subtle messages of your intuition. In solitude, you can recharge your energy and sharpen your focus. These practices build an inner fortress where your clarity cannot be taken away, no matter what is happening around you. Mastering your inner world also means releasing the need for constant comparison. When you measure yourself by someone else's life, you give away your power. Instead, anchor yourself in your own values, your own vision, and your own journey. This does not mean you ignore the world. It means you engage with it from a place of inner strength rather than insecurity. You start to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to practice resilience. Over time, this inner mastery reflects outwardly. People will notice your calm presence. They will sense that you do not get lost in chaos or crumble under pressure. They will see a steadiness that cannot be faked. This steadiness is not arrogance. It is the natural result of doing the work within. With each day of practice, your center grows stronger and your boundaries become clearer. You become like a mountain, rooted and grounded, unshaken by the winds of life. When you have mastered your inner world, your actions in the outer world become more powerful and precise. You are no longer reacting impulsively. You are responding with intention. Your words carry weight because they come from clarity. Your steps lead somewhere because they come from purpose. In this state, setbacks do not break you. They teach you. Criticism does not weaken you. It informs you. Distractions do not control you. You let them pass. To become an undefeatable woman, you must first build this inner foundation. Without it, achievements in the outer world feel empty and fragile. With it, even the smallest step becomes meaningful and unshakable. This inner mastery does not happen overnight. It is cultivated through patience, practice, and compassion toward yourself. But every moment spent on it is an investment in your own freedom and strength. When the inside is steady, the outside cannot defeat you. This is where true power begins, and this is how you grow into the woman who stands tall, moves forward, and remains undefeated. To transform pain into power and fear into focus is to take what was meant to break you and instead let it shape you into something stronger. Every person meets pain and fear, but few understand that within these experiences lies a hidden energy waiting to be directed. When pain arrives, it is easy to shrink, to close your heart, to feel defeated. Yet inside that same pain there is a seed of strength, an invitation to rise higher than you were before. An undefeatable woman understands that she does not need to escape her pain, but to use it, to allow it to carve depth into her character and sharpen her awareness. Pain can come from disappointment, rejection, loss, or failure. It can feel like a weight pressing on your chest or a fire burning inside you. But if you pause and breathe into that pain, you can start to see it differently. Instead of asking why it happened to you, you begin to ask what it can teach you. Pain teaches patience. It teaches empathy. It teaches resilience. It builds the kind of quiet power that no external achievement can give. By observing your pain without running from it, you give it a chance to transform. It becomes a teacher rather than an enemy. Fear also holds a special energy. Fear is not only a warning, it is a compass. It points toward areas of growth. When you are afraid of speaking your truth, that is where your power is waiting. When you are afraid to take a bold step, that is where your courage wants to be born. Fear can paralyze if left unmanaged, but it can also focus your attention like nothing else. By breathing slowly and grounding yourself, you can use fear as a tool to sharpen your senses, to heighten your presence, to direct your energy into action instead of avoidance. Transforming pain into power begins with acceptance. Accept that life will contain challenges. Accept that you will feel hurt, frustrated, and afraid. This acceptance does not mean giving up. It means you stop wasting energy resisting what already is. Once you stop resisting, you free up your strength to respond with clarity. This is how you shift from victim to creator. You start to shape your response, and in shaping your response, you shape your destiny. One powerful practice is to write down your pain and your fears. Seeing them on paper takes them out of the shadows of your mind. When you name them, you start to claim their energy. You can then turn these words into affirmations, goals, or steps for growth. This process reprograms your mind to see obstacles as raw material for transformation. With time, you notice you are no longer frightened by challenges. You welcome them as opportunities to practice your strength. Another practice is movement. Physical training, deep breathing, or mindful walking helps convert emotional pain into usable energy. The body and mind are connected. When you move with intention, you help the energy of fear and pain flow through you rather than remain stuck. Movement grounds you in the present moment and restores your confidence. It gives you a direct experience of your own power. Transforming fear into focus also means setting clear intentions. When your mind has a clear goal, fear becomes fuel. It sharpens your vision. It quickens your reflexes. It puts you on alert in a way that can be productive rather than harmful. Without a goal, fear spins in circles. With a goal, it drives you forward like wind filling a sail. Every time you step toward what scares you, you build evidence for your own courage. This evidence becomes a foundation of self-trust that cannot be easily shaken. The more you practice this, the more you find that pain and fear no longer define you. They become tools. They become signals. They become reminders of your own depth and capacity. This shift is what separates someone who is broken by life from someone who becomes unbreakable. It is not that the undefeatable woman never feels pain or fear. It is that she has learned to work with them, to draw strength from them, to let them guide her closer to her true path. Over time, this approach creates an inner resilience that radiates outward. People will notice your calm even in chaos, your steady gaze even under pressure, your centered energy even when others are losing theirs. They will see that you have learned to take what life gives you and turn it into something powerful. This is not a performance. It is the natural result of training yourself to transform instead of retreat. When you live this way, challenges stop being threats and start being training. Every setback becomes a sharpening stone. Every fear becomes a doorway. Every pain becomes a forge that strengthens your spirit. This is how you grow beyond the limits that once held you back. This is how you become someone who cannot be defeated, because nothing external can take away your inner command. In the end, you understand that power was never about avoiding pain or erasing fear. It was about transforming them into the very forces that build your focus, your clarity, and your unstoppable strength. To cultivate discipline as your pathway to freedom is to understand that every great transformation begins with small, consistent choices. Discipline is not a punishment or a cage. It is the quiet architect of strength, focus, and self-respect. When you develop discipline, you create the conditions for your potential to unfold without interference from distraction, doubt, or laziness. It is the bridge that carries you from intention to reality, from desire to achievement, from thinking about who you want to be to actually becoming her. An undefeatable woman knows that without discipline, even the brightest vision remains a wish, but with discipline, even the heaviest obstacles can be moved. Discipline starts within the mind before it ever shows in action. It begins when you decide to rise above your impulses and guide your energy with purpose. Each time you choose to follow through on your commitments instead of giving in to comfort, you strengthen a muscle inside your spirit. Over time, this inner muscle grows powerful enough to hold you steady no matter what storms you face. While others are distracted by trends or by what is easy, you stay true to the path you have chosen. This self-mastery is the essence of freedom. It means you no longer live at the mercy of moods or circumstances. You live by the standards you have set for yourself. To cultivate discipline, you must also become intimate with your daily habits. Habits are the soil from which your future grows. When you wake early, When you care for your body, when you feed your mind with learning, when you take moments to reflect, you are planting seeds of strength. These small acts seem simple, but they accumulate into a force that shapes your character. Discipline is not about grand heroic gestures, but about the repeated quiet actions that align you with your higher self. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is that it frees your mind from constant decision-making. When you have built solid routines, you do not need to negotiate with yourself every day. You already know what must be done. This reduces inner conflict and releases energy for creativity and growth. In this way, discipline becomes a foundation for spontaneity and freedom, rather than its opposite. You can choose how to use your energy, rather than wasting it on indecision or regret. Another dimension of discipline is learning to say no. No to distractions that pull you off your path. No to habits that drain your vitality. No to people or environments that weaken your spirit. Each no is also a yes to your highest priorities. It is a way of telling yourself and the world what truly matters to you. With each boundary you hold, your self-respect deepens. This inner clarity becomes visible to others as steadiness, reliability, and quiet power. Discipline also strengthens your ability to handle discomfort. Growth rarely happens in the space of ease. It happens when you push beyond your limits, when you choose patience over instant gratification, when you remain consistent even when motivation fades. This endurance trains your mind to stay steady in adversity. It teaches you that you can do hard things and come out stronger. With every challenge you face and stay present with, your threshold for pressure expands. This is how resilience is born. It is also important to pair discipline with compassion. Without compassion, discipline can become rigid and harsh. True discipline is firm but gentle, structured but flexible. It allows space for mistakes and learning. It celebrates progress rather than punishing failure. This balance keeps your spirit alive and motivated. You begin to see discipline not as something you must do, but as something you choose because it empowers you. As your discipline grows, your confidence rises naturally. You no longer wait for the perfect time or external approval, because you know you can rely on yourself. Each promise kept to yourself becomes a brick in the fortress of your self-trust. People who watch you will sense this confidence. They will see that your words and actions are aligned. They will recognize that your stability comes from within rather than from outside validation. Over time, discipline shapes not only your habits but also your identity. You start to see yourself as someone who shows up, who persists, who follows through. This identity fuels more consistent action, and consistent action fuels greater freedom. You move from being reactive to being proactive, from drifting to directing. This is the mark of someone who is truly undefeatable. She does not wait for conditions to be perfect. She trains herself to be prepared regardless of conditions. When discipline becomes a natural part of your life, freedom blossoms. You are free from the chains of procrastination, free from the pull of distractions, free from the ups and downs of motivation. You are free because you are in command of yourself. This freedom is deeper than any temporary indulgence. It is the freedom to become exactly who you are meant to be, and to live with clarity, focus, and purpose. To cultivate discipline as your pathway to freedom is to build an unshakable foundation under your dreams. It gives you the quiet confidence that no matter what life brings, you can stand tall and keep moving forward. This is how you develop the steadiness, self-trust, and inner power that make an undefeatable woman. To stand rooted in values and not be swayed by opinions is to build your life upon a foundation that cannot be shaken by the shifting winds of the world. Every day you are surrounded by countless voices telling you who you should be, what you should want, how you should live. These opinions can be loud, persuasive, and relentless. If you do not know your own values, you will find yourself bending under the weight of every trend and every judgment. But when you have taken the time to clarify what truly matters to you, you become like a tree with deep roots. Storms may bend your branches, but they cannot uproot you. This is one of the defining qualities of an undefeatable woman. Values are the invisible compass of your life. They guide your decisions, shape your character, and determine your direction. Without them, you drift from one influence to another, never knowing why you feel lost or dissatisfied. With them, you develop clarity and purpose. You are able to act with intention, even when the crowd moves in another direction. This clarity becomes a source of power because it frees you from the exhausting need to please everyone or prove yourself to anyone. Standing rooted in values also means you understand who you are beyond your roles, beyond your appearance, beyond the expectations placed upon you. It is about peeling back the layers of external identity until you discover your own inner truth. This process requires honesty and courage. You may realize that some beliefs you inherited no longer fit the person you are becoming. You may have to let go of patterns that once felt safe but are now limiting. This inner work can be uncomfortable, but it is also liberating. It is how you come to know yourself not as a reflection of others, but as a whole person with her own principles. When you live by values, decisions become simpler. You measure choices against your principles rather than against fleeting emotions or public approval. This steadiness creates trust within yourself. You know you will act with integrity because you have already decided what you stand for. This inner alignment radiates outward as confidence and authenticity. People may not always agree with you, but they will respect your consistency. One of the great challenges of living by your values is dealing with criticism. The more visible you become, the more opinions you will face. Some will support you and some will not. An undefeatable woman does not let praise inflate her or criticism deflate her. She listens, she considers, but she does not lose herself. She knows that opinions are often reflections of others' fears and desires, not of her own worth. By staying anchored in her principles, she remains steady even when the noise around her grows. It is also essential to balance firmness with openness. Standing rooted in your values does not mean you never learn or adapt. It means you have a strong center from which you can explore and grow. You can listen to feedback, learn new perspectives, and adjust your approach without betraying your core principles. This balance allows you to evolve while staying authentic. Another way to deepen your connection to your values is through daily reflection. Spend a few moments each day asking yourself if your actions aligned with your principles. Notice where you stood strong and where you compromised. This practice keeps you awake to your own growth and strengthens your integrity over time. As you continue this practice, you will notice greater peace within yourself because your life feels coherent and true. When you stand rooted in values, you also create healthy boundaries. You learn to say no to what does not serve your higher purpose, and yes to what nourishes your soul. These boundaries protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. They allow you to invest yourself in relationships and projects that align with your principles. Over time, this leads to a life filled with meaning rather than noise. The strength that comes from living by values is quiet, but unshakable. It gives you courage to speak up when something feels wrong, to walk away from situations that disrespect your worth, and to pursue paths that resonate with your truth, even if they are unpopular. This courage is not the absence of fear, but the presence of conviction. It is the understanding that even if you stand alone, you stand whole. As your commitment to your values deepens, you begin to feel an inner freedom. You are no longer imprisoned by the need to fit into molds or meet everyone's expectations. You act from your own center and trust yourself to handle the outcomes. This freedom does not make you hard or isolated. It makes you authentic, compassionate, and resilient. People sense this authenticity and are drawn to it. They see that you are not easily swayed, and that your life has a groundedness that is rare. To stand rooted in values and not be swayed by opinions is to claim your power and live with integrity. It is to know who you are, what you believe, and how you choose to move through the world. When the noise of external voices fades, your own voice becomes clear. This clarity and steadiness are what allow you to face any challenge with dignity, strength, and an unshakable sense of self. This is how you grow into an undefeatable woman. To embrace challenges as training grounds for resilience is to see every difficulty not as a punishment, but as a teacher. Life will never stop presenting obstacles, setbacks, and unexpected turns. The difference between someone who crumbles and someone who rises lies in how these challenges are perceived. An undefeatable woman does not wait for perfect conditions or easy roads. She accepts that adversity is part of growth, and she turns every struggle into an exercise of her own strength. In this way, challenges become less about survival and more about transformation. When you face a challenge, your first instinct may be to retreat, to look for a way around it, or to doubt yourself. Yet inside that moment is a chance to expand your capacity. Every time you endure discomfort, you stretch your inner boundaries. Every time you solve a difficult problem, you build confidence in your ability to handle the unknown. This is why embracing challenges builds resilience. It forces you to draw on hidden reserves of patience, creativity, and courage you may not know you possess. Resilience is not built in times of comfort. It is built when your patience is tested, when your plans collapse, when your emotions run high, and you still choose to move forward. In those moments, you are forging mental and emotional muscles. Just as a body grows stronger by lifting weight, your spirit grows stronger by lifting the weight of challenge. If life were always easy, you would remain soft and untested. But when life stretches you, it shapes you into someone who cannot be easily shaken. To embrace challenges as training grounds, you must first shift your mindset. Instead of thinking, "Why is this happening to me?" begin to ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" This simple shift turns frustration into curiosity and defeat into opportunity. You start to look at the problem not as an end, but as a lesson. This lesson could be patience, self-control, strategy, or trust in your own judgment. Each time you identify the lesson, you turn pain into power and confusion into clarity. Another way to build resilience through challenges is to stay grounded in the present moment. When difficulties arise, the mind often races ahead, imagining worst-case scenarios or replaying past mistakes. This amplifies fear and drains energy. By breathing deeply and bringing your attention to the now, you anchor yourself in the only place where action is possible. This grounded presence gives you stability. You stop being swept away by the storm and instead become the steady center within it. Support and self-compassion also play a role. Embracing challenges does not mean isolating yourself or ignoring your limits. It means being honest about your feelings, reaching out for help when needed, and treating yourself with kindness as you learn. Resilience grows best when combined with patience and care. This balance allows you to stretch without breaking and to recover stronger after each test. The more you practice this approach, the more confident you become in your ability to adapt. Instead of fearing change, you welcome it. Instead of avoiding difficult conversations, you initiate them. Instead of running from complex tasks, you step into them. Each success reinforces the belief that you can handle what life brings. This belief becomes self-fulfilling. Your nervous system learns to remain calm under pressure. Your mind learns to look for solutions instead of problems. Your heart learns to stay open even when hurt. Challenges also refine your character. They strip away illusions and reveal what truly matters to you. They teach humility by showing you where you still need growth. They teach gratitude by reminding you of your strength. They teach perseverance by demanding that you continue, even when results are not immediate. This refinement is not glamorous, but it is real. It gives you a depth and authenticity that cannot be faked. An undefeatable woman does not avoid the fire. She learns to walk through it with awareness. She understands that resilience is not just bouncing back, but bouncing forward. It is emerging from each trial wiser, stronger, and more compassionate. Over time, challenges become less threatening and more like familiar training partners. You begin to recognize their patterns and use them to hone your skills. This is the essence of becoming unshakable. The gift of embracing challenges is a quiet confidence that stays with you no matter what happens. You realize you are not fragile. You realize that pain, loss, and disappointment do not erase your worth. You realize you can endure and still create beauty, love, and meaning. This realization changes how you walk through the world. It softens your fear and strengthens your courage. It allows you to take bigger risks and live more fully, because you trust yourself to recover and grow. To embrace challenges as training grounds for resilience is to decide that every obstacle will serve you rather than stop you. It is to train your mind and heart to meet life directly, to stand steady in difficulty, and to keep moving forward with faith in your own capacity. This is how an undefeatable woman is shaped. To carry grace and strength together in every action is to embody a balance that many strive for but few achieve. Strength without grace can become hard and unyielding, while grace without strength can drift into passivity. When you learn to unite the two, you create a presence that is powerful yet gentle, firm yet compassionate, determined yet understanding. This union becomes a signature quality of an undefeatable woman, because it allows her to act with authority without losing her humanity, and to hold boundaries without closing her heart. Grace is the quiet elegance in how you treat yourself and others. It shows in your tone of voice, your patience with mistakes, your ability to forgive, and your willingness to see the humanity in those around you. Grace does not mean weakness. It does not mean accepting disrespect or diminishing yourself to keep the peace. Instead, it is the ability to respond with dignity and self-control even when provoked. It is a conscious choice to act from your highest self rather than react from your wounds. This steadiness earns respect and creates harmony around you. Strength is your inner backbone. It is the ability to stand for what you believe, to endure discomfort, to make hard choices, and to persist through setbacks. Strength gives you the courage to hold boundaries, say no when needed, and protect what matters most to you. It is the force that keeps you moving forward when obstacles arise. But without grace, this strength can appear harsh, rigid, or intimidating. It can alienate the very people you want to inspire. By weaving grace and strength together, you create balance. You can stand firm yet stay kind, enforce boundaries yet remain compassionate, lead others yet listen deeply. This balance allows you to navigate complex situations without losing your center. It turns confrontations into conversations and criticism into opportunities to model dignity. It does not remove challenges from your life, but it changes how you meet them, giving you a greater range of responses and a deeper sense of control. One way to cultivate this union is through mindful awareness. Before speaking or acting, pause and breathe. Ask yourself whether your response holds both strength and grace. Are you being honest, but also respectful? Are you asserting yourself, but also leaving space for dialogue? This small pause helps you choose your response consciously instead of acting on impulse. Over time, these conscious choices become your natural way of being. Carrying grace and strength also means practicing self-respect. You cannot offer true grace to others if you do not extend it to yourself. This includes forgiving your own mistakes, speaking kindly to yourself, and treating your own time and energy as valuable. When you respect yourself, you naturally communicate that respect outwardly. This self-respect reinforces your strength and softens your edges, making you approachable while remaining steady. Life will test your ability to hold this balance. You will meet people who misinterpret grace as weakness and try to take advantage. You will face situations where showing strength might feel like abandoning kindness. In these moments, remind yourself that grace and strength are not opposites but partners. You can be firm without being cruel, compassionate without being naive, confident without being arrogant. This internal dialogue keeps you aligned with your principles even when under pressure. Carrying grace and strength together also inspires those around you. People see in you a model of what is possible. They witness how you handle conflict without aggression, how you maintain dignity under stress, how you hold your vision without dismissing others. This influence can be profound because it offers an alternative to the extremes of passivity or aggression. It shows that true power does not need to shout. It can be quiet, composed, and unwavering. In relationships, this union fosters trust and respect. Partners, friends, and colleagues feel safe around you because they know where you stand and they know you will treat them with fairness. You create an environment where honesty can flourish because people sense your steadiness and empathy. Even in disagreements, they feel heard. This not only strengthens your connections, but also deepens your influence, because people listen more to someone who embodies both authority and understanding. Over time, living with both grace and strength becomes a way of life. It shapes your posture, your language, and your energy. It gives you a calm confidence that does not depend on external validation. You know who you are. You know how you want to show up, and you choose to lead yourself first before leading others. This self-leadership is what makes an undefeatable woman magnetic and trustworthy. To carry grace and strength together in every action is to step fully into your power without losing your heart. It is to walk through the world with open eyes, steady hands, and a grounded presence that neither wavers nor hardens. It is the kind of power that cannot be taken away because it comes from within, a power that holds steady through both calm and storm. This is how you become an undefeatable woman. To lead your life with purpose, clarity, and unshakable courage is to wake each day with the understanding that your time and energy are precious and that every action can be aligned with a greater vision. Purpose is the inner compass that guides you when the path becomes unclear. Clarity is the light that cuts through confusion and distraction. Courage is the force that propels you forward when fear whispers for you to stop. Together they form the foundation of an undefeatable woman because they allow her to live intentionally rather than by accident, to act from conviction rather than reaction, and to move steadily even when the ground beneath her shifts. Leading your life with purpose begins with self-awareness. It asks you to look deeply at what truly matters to you, beyond the surface desires or borrowed expectations. What values light you up? What contribution do you long to make? What kind of person do you want to become? When you clarify these inner truths, you stop chasing everything and begin focusing on what is meaningful. This focus saves your energy and prevents you from scattering your efforts on things that do not serve your highest self. Clarity grows from reflection and deliberate choices. In a noisy world, it is easy to become lost in comparison or to drift with the current of other people's opinions. Clarity is the practice of returning to your own vision again and again. It is writing down your goals, planning your steps, and setting boundaries that protect your time. It is saying no to distractions, not because they are bad, but because they do not match your direction. Each time you choose clarity, you refine your sense of purpose and your ability to act on it. Unshakable courage emerges when you repeatedly step outside your comfort zone. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Every time you take a small brave step, you are training your nervous system to trust you. You build evidence that you can handle discomfort, uncertainty, and risk. Over time, this evidence becomes a solid foundation under your feet. You no longer feel paralyzed by fear, because you know you can move through it. This is the secret of becoming unstoppable. When purpose, clarity, and courage work together, you develop a strong sense of direction that can withstand setbacks. Failure becomes feedback, not defeat. Criticism becomes information, not a wound. Delay becomes training, not punishment. This mindset transforms how you experience challenges. You start to see them as part of your preparation rather than proof of your inadequacy. This shift in perspective makes you resilient and keeps you moving forward when others give up. Leading your life in this way also changes your relationship with time. You stop treating time as something to fill and start treating it as something to honor. Each hour becomes an opportunity to practice your values, develop your gifts, and contribute to something larger than yourself. This reverence for time brings a sense of meaning to everyday actions. Even small tasks feel purposeful because they are connected to a bigger vision. It is also important to nurture your inner world while leading your outer life. Purpose and courage without self-care can turn into burnout. Clarity without rest can become rigidity. By integrating moments of silence, reflection, and gratitude into your days, you keep your inner compass calibrated. This balance allows you to sustain your focus and maintain your courage over the long term rather than in short bursts. People around you will notice this steadiness. They will see that you are not easily swayed by trends, gossip, or intimidation. They will sense that your decisions come from an inner authority, not from a need for approval. This quiet confidence attracts trust and respect. It makes you a natural leader not because you demand power, but because you embody it. Leading your life with purpose, clarity, and unshakable courage also means accepting responsibility for your choices. You do not wait for someone else to rescue you or make decisions for you. You recognize that your life is shaped by the actions you take and the standards you hold. This responsibility may feel heavy at times, but it is also liberating because it places the power in your own hands. Over time, this approach creates a life of coherence and strength. You begin to see how every challenge and every success has been shaping you for this path. You no longer feel like a passenger in your own story, but like its author. This authorship does not mean controlling every outcome, but choosing how you respond, learning from what unfolds, and adjusting your direction with wisdom. To lead your life with purpose, clarity, and unshakable courage is to honor your own path and walk it fully. It is to rise each morning with intention, to act with integrity, and to meet the unknown with steady eyes and a strong heart. This is the way an undefeatable woman moves through the world, and this is the way you build a life that cannot be shaken by external forces. As we reach the end of this journey together, remember that becoming an undefeatable woman is not a single act or a sudden transformation. It is a choice made over and over. In quiet moments and in times of challenge, to rise, to learn, and to stand rooted in your own power. It is the discipline of your inner world, the courage to face your fears, the clarity of your purpose, and the grace you carry into every action. Each step you take in this direction strengthens your spirit, sharpens your focus, and deepens your confidence. You already hold within you the strength to transform pain into power, fear into focus, and challenges into training grounds. You already have the ability to embody both grace and strength, to stand firm in your values, and to lead your life with purpose and courage. No setback can erase what you build inside yourself. This is the unshakable ground from which you can rise again and again, no matter how life shifts around you. As you move forward, hold your head high, breathe deeply, and trust the woman you are becoming. May you find joy in your growth, peace in your patience, and power in your persistence. You are not just surviving life, you are shaping it. I wish you the very best as you step into this path of strength and authenticity. May every challenge polish you, every experience teach you, and every day bring you closer to your highest self. Good luck on your journey, And thank you for giving your time, your attention, and your heart to this message.